So a very good evening all. I am Dr. Lakshmi RP from the team of GIBS Business School Bangalore. Today we are all connected as a part of GIBS IRE Talk. The IRE Talks Forum brings together inspirational speakers to deliver sessions related to innovation, research, and entrepreneurship. So today's IRE topic is future-proofing businesses, the case for strategic foresight and innovation. And as we all know, the keynote speaker for today's session is Mr. Mohamad Saiful, sir, who is a service design strategist, educator, and dialogue facilitator from Singapore. I thank you for accepting our invitation for being a speaker for today, sir. And I welcome all the participants to this IRE talk on behalf of GIBS family. So please allow me to talk a few words about GIBS Business School before we begin. Global Institute of Business Studies is a place where talents are nurtured, ambitions cherished, ideas shared, and dreams are fulfilled. GIBS Business School is a part of Goyal Educational Trust, which is an exclusive business school based in Bangalore, Karnataka. GIBS provides an AICTE-approved PGDM program and BBA from Bangalore University, and we are delighted to announce that recently GIBS has been ranked as 5th best emerging business school in India and 9th best business school for BBA placement in the Times of India 2022. To prepare its students for success, GIBS always has Industry 4.0 curriculum and has introduced a number of unique programs like IRE and finishing school, sports management certification program, and business mastery program, etc. Another significant milestone has been reached by GIBS Bangalore this week, that is the most recent ranking of B schools in India for 2022 has been published by Competitive Success Review, that is CSR. We have been ranked 12th top B school of eminence category. Not only this, we've also been ranked as 11th best B school of Karnataka. So we further improve the quality standards even in the challenging circumstances of recent times. I would like to extend a warm greeting to Mr. Saiful sir, again, the resource person of the day. And today's IRE talk, I repeat again, is future-proofing businesses, the case for strategic foresight and innovation. Let me take this honor and pleasure to introduce Sir. Saiful is a passionate and charismatic service design strategist, educator, and dialogue facilitator who believes in the power of community. His current endeavor is to help both businesses and non-profit organizations pursue their purpose by utilizing service design and authentic engagement. A firm advocate for social innovation and entrepreneurship, he is popular with youth participants in the numerous training workshops and hackathons that he led and conducted. And avid participant of hackathons himself, he steered this team to first place of Singapore's first hackathon social resilience. After more than 15 years of experience in community service and engagement, both locally and overseas, he now focuses on mentoring youth leaders and consulting on projects. Before pursuing his passion in design strategy, innovation, and dialogue, he had a doctorate career as a paramedic with the emergency medical services for more than a decade. He still serves as a warrant officer in Reserve Rescue
Battalion,
leading a platoon of medics, and received a Minister for Home Affairs National Day Award in 2017. Sir has joined us all the way from Singapore. I welcome you again, sir. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Can everyone hear me well? Oh no, can you make me a co-host? I need to share my screen, the Saiful presentation.
1 second.
Yep, so thank you so much, Dr. Lakshmi. She said a lot about me. I'm not sure, I don't know, I recall any of those, but yeah, something like that.
I think you can try now, sir.
Yep, I have already. Okay, so I'm gonna open my slides and you should be seeing my iPad, but my slides are here. All right,
yes,
cool.
Yes.
My slides are in my hand. So I like standing up when I present. So you would hear me from my presentation, but only see me from my video if you want to see me. and Lashmi.
Sure, sir. Please, it would be nice if you have switched on your video so that we can.
It is on. It's
Yeah.
on the other one.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
So what I'll do is, can I pin myself? Yeah.
Yes,
so
sir.
maybe, okay, doesn't matter. So hold on. I'll just, if you can pin me, that'll be good. If not, then doesn't matter. All right. So maybe I shouldn't speak through this. Give me a sec. Okay, give me 1 sec.
Sure, sir.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. We can. Absolutely.
Better. Then we will speak through the screen. Okay. Very nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for making time today. I'm trying to make sure my slides doesn't fail me. All right. Present on device. Okay. Wow. Cool. Back. Can I see the Q&A? I'm looking at the Q&A while I'm
Yes, this is Q&A. I will be assisting you, sir. We can take up the questions at the last.
Right. Oh, nice. Thank you so much. I see a lot. I see a doctor here. I'm so amazed. Right. It's late in Singapore. It is very dark. The sun just set, and thank you so much for making time. I'm going to share very briefly about future proofing or futures thinking. All right. I'm going to spend maybe less even than half an hour sharing my content, and then we can have a conversation about future proofing. I want to look at the chat right now. If anyone, I know it's supposed to be question and answer, but can you just quickly post why do you think the world wasn't ready for COVID? Let's just give 2 minutes. If you can think of quickly, why isn't the world ready when COVID hit?
Yeah, the participants are requested to post the answers in the Q&A for the question that has been asked by Saiful sir. Why do you think the world was not ready for COVID pandemic? Right, sir?
I'm not going to answer now, but as we have this conversation, I'll look at it later. And I will not continue until I see at least 5 questions. 5 answers, right? At least. Wait, how many people are there? 135. Okay, good. Then 30, maybe no, 10. I'll give you 10%. 13 response. Then I'll move on when time comes. But from now till then, the 135 people, thank you so much for making time. Think about why. Oh, thank you so much. I got the first one. I'm going to continue. Hi, my name is Saiful Anuar. That's my name and my late father's name. I prepared this slide last. I forgot that I need to tell about myself. So from the top left corner, that's me doing design thinking for students from United Arab Emirates. They came to NUS, National University of Singapore, and I was doing design thinking with them. The one top middle is me doing a dialogue session. This is not part of the program, but I visited GIBS in 2019, and I was having a dialogue session about community issues with the students there, the year 2 students, I recall, year 1 or year 2 students. And it was a fishbowl method, and that's why if you can see smack in the middle somewhere there, that's me facilitating that dialogue. And on the right of that is me doing design, business innovation design with one of the leading CEO of CEO of a leading IT HR company who's thinking of starting an activewear, and we are designing the whole business. So basically, that's what I do. I help people talk and help people think. Bottom is my things I do for fun. I'm involved in a lot of community engagement work. Before, I gave a speech in Japan about multiculturalism. The one in the middle is me doing, oh, someone raised hand. Maybe Noah, doing interfaith work within different religions. And finally, she mentioned earlier, I'm still a qualified paramedic, and I'm on standby for any future or potential disasters, right? So that's what I can do, but that's what I do for a living. Oh, 2 people raised hand. Is there any issues?
No issues, sir. No issues. We can go ahead.
Okay. So in the near future, which is in this next half an hour, I'm going to go through these few things. I know technically it's a content page, but you can see the flow. We're going to have an overview of futures thinking. Then we're going to talk a bit about signals, trends, drivers, and then future forecast. And maybe we can have a conclusion. We'll see what the future brings. So futures thinking, design thinking has been talked about a lot. I do design thinking, and I know it's in. Futures thinking is slightly different because futures thinking talks about the potential futures, right? What does that mean? Is that it talks about oh no, sorry. So futures thinking, it's a multidisciplinary approach. So it's not only one group, but many different groups who looks at potential futures, and they explore this through signals, trends, and drivers to make future scenarios. The use of this is something we'll discuss later. I asked just now, why was the world not ready for COVID-19? In 2014, Bill Gates made a TED talk and said, the next outbreak, we are not ready. 5 years later, it struck us. 5 years, a lot of things could have been done. So the question is, why? You can read the words, I'm not going to repeat them. There were already signs, things that we saw, but we didn't do anything about them. There was SARS, there was MERS, there were the Ebola outbreaks. There were studies about a potential crazy infectious virus. They call it the maximally malignant mutant virus. It's not COVID per se, but this idea that there might be such a virus. There were also already studies, so a bit more positive about mRNA vaccine way before COVID in 2016, if I'm not mistaken, hailed as the next stage of vaccinology. Some industries were already ready, and this includes the aviation industry, who was looking at risk assessment. Okay, this is after SARS and MERS. So they actually published some of the guidance. Why weren't governments following this lead? So just some thoughts. On that note, I want to see what are the answers. Unpredictable, good. The world never thought of such situation. Bill Gates did, and he spoke about it. Discovered by, I don't know that word, to dominate the world. China, we are not ready for it, correct. We were not ready with medical facilities, thank you. Developed country on all time were ready for disasters. So you'd be surprised to know Donald Trump closed the Office of Pandemic Control, which was opened by Obama. Humans are not ready for such situation. Again, China, and government never thought of such a virus. Good. So when you say all this, but we had the information, we had a way to see it might happen. Can we avoid such a disaster in the future? If we look at the science well enough, that's when this futures thinking come in. After COVID, or currently is still affecting us. The last I checked, more than 500,000 people passed on in India. That's the third highest in the world behind US and Brazil. Strangely, the 10 richest men in the world, their net value went up to 1.5 trillion US dollars, more than double before COVID. And then we are talking now about people who suffer even after COVID. So COVID survivors, 1 out of 8 of them will have long-term symptoms, or what they call the long COVID. Right? Can we see this happening? Maybe. And this is what we want to explore today. The future depends on what you do today. You're not just watching the future or predicting, you're an author, a writer, a shaper of the future. So let's try to understand what makes futures thinking or futures forecast. We'll talk about 3 things: trends, signals, and drivers. Actually, it's supposed to be drivers first. Signals first. So signals are things which are evidence of little things of the future that might happen, but it is not widespread. So for example, in some Nordic countries, they implant chips in their hands for identification and for payment. In China, they use facial recognition and a credit system for paying. In I can't recall of any signals right now. I mean, people putting in bionics into their arms and all that. So these are what we call signals. They are appearing in different parts of the world. They're not widespread, but they're an indicator what the future might hold. It could also be negative signals. Negative signals include, for example, SARS, Ebola, MERS. These are signals that viruses are spreading, especially over crossing boundaries. When signals get stronger and they come to a larger space, this is what we call trends. And when we look at signals and we see, hey, it's growing better, it's gaining traction, then that's when we know that's where the future is going to come from. Trends are measurable. They're based on fact. That means you see them. They're not predictive. You're not predicting the future. You're seeing it, and you're seeing it grow, or you're seeing it spread. Okay? Trends are characteristics of development. Every development follows a trend. Developments don't happen overnight. Apple did not create the iPhone overnight. There was trends within the company and around when people were looking into new technologies of telecommunication. But on top of all this, there were things which are shifting around. What happens and what gets done. And we call this drivers. So drivers, they have effects to change. And an easy way to look at drivers are what I call the STEEP method. You look at social drivers, technological drivers, economical drivers, ecological drivers, and political drivers. I chose these images because I think they relate to the Indian community that is in my talk right now. Does it mean to have poor nutrition for a child? What does it mean that's social? To have political alliance with Russia? What does it mean to have climate change affecting not only us, but the other creatures we share this earth with? All these drivers will affect which trend, which signals will prevail. Okay, this is interesting. I see a lot of words
in the comments. I'm going to repeat what I said just now. Signals and trends and even drivers are based on facts. Things you can see, they're not speculative. So you start all futures thinking with facts. I see a lot of people speak about other countries negatively. That's your opinion. I'm here to show how we can do better in the future. So briefly again, futures thinking is not an effort to predict the future, but rather a way to illuminate unexpected implications of present-day issues and empower individuals and organizations to actively design desirable futures. The emphasis isn't on what will happen, but on what could happen, given various observed drivers, signals, and also trends. Okay, how do we do this? We do this by, this is a simplified scenario building process. So you build a future persona. Someone, oh, sorry about the lorem ipsum. You notice that. So you develop a future persona. Someone who you think will be in the future, an age and a certain place, and yeah, based on all the trends that are happening. Then you identify relevant signals and drivers, because you're trying to ask yourself, what would affect this individual, right? And then you write a scenario based on that. Then you also explore what we call utopian or dystopian futures. If everything goes right, what happens? If everything goes wrong, what happens? Then people say, you can do anything then. You can say one day pigs will fly. One day cows can talk. So the guideline we use when we are doing future forecasting, if it's clear, like in a graph, in the middle, we call that projected future. But if it's not so clear, but might happen, and high possibility, we call it probable future. But a bit more than that, not high probability, still can happen, we call that plausible future. And at the end of it all, if it's humanly possible to imagine, it becomes a possible future. But beyond that, it's the preposterous future. So we try to do future thinking between plausible, probable, because that's where the discoveries are made. I'll give you, I'm sorry. This is another example of studies based on this. So this is called the 20 combinational 20 forecast. I'm just going to quickly, it's a report by the Institute of IFTF, Futures Thinking Foundation. IFTF. Okay, it's taking a while to load. So sometimes at these scenarios, governments would grow these scenarios. Singapore has many departments which looks in the future. Singapore plans consciously for futures. So I'll give you, these are too many words, but you see, they say things like biomanufacturing unites Mother Nature with the man-made. That's number 3. Yeah, we'll show you on my, okay. Then we also have intelligence move to the network that's on the other side. What I'm trying to show you by sharing this is that people are predicting futures and there's a high probability because these are futurists looking in the future. Oops. Let me go back. This is my final statement. With futures thinking, we can use the future to change the present, right? I'm not going to talk about the design part of it because it will take too long of a time. But I want to talk about, oh my God, it's already, okay, correct, half an hour. Missed the timing just now. So I want to talk about, since we know all this, we know probable futures, can we design better innovations to survive? So even imagine we already predict that COVID will happen. We build better networks. We are prepared better for pandemics. Even if COVID didn't happen, our hospitals are much better equipped. Aviation will be much safer. Families would find alternative ways to engage each other. Because why? Those were the needs during COVID. Cities will be able to sustain food amongst themselves, because in the fear of lockdown, you have to take care of yourself. So even innovation based on probable future may make life better. And that's my case to future-proof your businesses through innovation and strategic foresight. With that, I thank you. If you want to contact me, we'll show this later also. These are my Telegram and WhatsApp. See you in the future. Now we can have our question and answer.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much for the informative and valuable thoughts that you just imparted with us. Thank you so much. So let me take up the questions one by one, sir. May I request all the participants to please post your questions? So we had to receive, I think they are posting their questions. These are the answers that you had asked for a couple of questions. How innovation is related to COVID, sir? There's a question by Nityashri.
Sure. Hold on, let me look at the questions. Okay, my argument is not that it's related to COVID. My question is that if we knew COVID was happening, could we have innovated earlier? I'll share with you some of the innovations that happened because of COVID, right? So one example of an innovation, which it's not a fantastic innovation, but it is something a company does so that COVID was better managed. Okay, medical equipments were needed, and one of them was ventilators. And ventilators were very few. What if the ventilators break down? How can you fix it? Cities were in lockdown. Ventilators, repairmen were very few. So what can you do? A company called iFixit, which actually publishes how to fix phones, for example. I fix my own phone for fun, and iFixit shows step by step what needs to be done, right? What happens is that because they have the network, they have the strategy, they put out how to repair medical ventilation machines online, so that anyone else in the world can learn how to fix ventilators, whether you're in a hospital, in a clinic, in a rural area, so that we can have enough ventilators. And that's a form of innovation leveraging on already available insights. It's an innovation of disseminating, of DIYing repair of ventilators, which I've never heard before. You don't DIY a medical product. Okay. Other innovations were German scientists who were working on like precision engineering, were finding ways to build better ventilators. Thank you so much. There's so much more, but those are the things that I can recall top of my head.
Right, sir. Can we go ahead with the next question?
Sure.
There's a question by Mr. Sheikh Feroz. He's asking, how do you fight recession?
I don't know. I am not an economist. I'm not. But if you ask me, how might we survive a recession? Then I can come up with a question, and then I will explore ideas, because I'm an innovation guy. I can't say that you will survive it, but I can come sit with you, see your strengths, see what's available, see what opportunities, and come up better plan, better ideas to survive. So it's about what you have, what strengths you have, what opportunities you have, and then we'll build better ideas. I don't know how to just survive a recession. Easiest way is save up a lot of money. Right?
I have another question by Chaitra. Yeah. She's asking, what should businesses do to future-proof their workforces?
Thank you so much. So look at the trends, look at the signals with regards to HR. There's so many now, automation, AI, there are even talks on universal basic income. So take those things down, universal basic income. And why is those things important? Is because it tells you that HR is going in a crazy way. Remote working, right? How do you future-proof? Is you prepare your organization for all this, right? Artists, you know, when you say the most human work would be making art. Most recently, an AI won an art competition. So the question is there something AI can do that we can't? Maybe nurture our child, right? And all that. So question is, to future-proof your workforces, how can you utilize current technology, still empowering the manpower and then changing how you approach things? How do you, for example, pay someone who's on flexi hours? Can you pay full salary for someone who's on flexi hours as long as they do their job? Can you be ready that your staff is only seen 6 months in a year and still pay them full as long as they meet their KPIs? So all these future scenarios is what you need to plan for and be nimble, be able to change, and that's very important. I hope it answers your question. See the signals, see the trends, and shape the organization towards that.
Great.
Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. There's another question. She's a student from Cornell and an aspiring entrepreneur. She's asking a question on how to capitalize the current surge in EdTech sector, especially post-COVID. What would be your advice, and in which phase of my SWOT analysis I should apply future thinking?
Okay, for the sake of everyone, is SWOT analysis, which is strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Okay, I'm just going to put SWOT so that I actually answered the question. No risk. I'm going to answer the question live. Sorry, the question was closed. EdTech is a growing space, right? There are new pedagogies in EdTech. I'm a trained trainer. I have an advanced certificate in learning and performance. What does that mean? Is that I'm trained to train. I would tell you that so learn your ICAP, learn how to immerse yourself. The best thing to do now in education is to gamify it. Learn how to gamify education, because the current generation and the generation after, Gen Z and Gen Alpha, needs gamification. They're immersed in gamification. Roblox, Minecraft, you know. So gamification is the way. Flipped classroom is also the next way forward. Khan Academy, things when students learn from computers and get guidance from teachers. Hard knowledge are not from teachers. They explore it. So it's child-led in that sense. Okay, so these are the way forward. These are trends that are already happening. What are the signals? The signals would be, can you, for example, when you're sleeping, learn? Right? Find studies on that if you want to learn the futures. The best thing, honestly, since you're doing EdTech and you're in India, think of every child in India, especially those which doesn't have an education. Use technology to reach out to them. Use technology to give equal opportunity to each and every child in India. If I had to give my advice, that would be the most valuable thing to work on.
Great, sir. Indeed, it was really helpful. It was nice from your side to get the answer. There's another question. The question is, what is the relationship between innovation and technology, and how is innovation related to motivation of employees in organization?
Thank you so much. I'm going to tell you that innovation doesn't need technology, and technology needs innovation. Why? I'll define first what is innovation. Innovation is a new idea, something new that people don't see before and you're trying it. While technology is the use of science and things around you to apply the science. It's almost like applied science or applied engineering. Okay, but it's the use of that which becomes technology. Is a pencil technology? Yes, it is, but it's low tech, right? This cup technically is technology. Why? Because how can I drink this using my hand? No, I can't. To be more than primitive, sorry, I drank for my hand. I use a cup. It's technology, the use of glass as a material to guess this, right? To filter the water, that's technology. But what is innovation? Innovation is knowing how to make things better through new ideas, right? Is this cup an innovation? No, because it looks exactly like any other cup, right? And the question now is, how can I make this cup better? Oh, I don't need a cup. This thing hangs on my mouth. Oh, I don't need a cup. It goes straight into my body. Oh, I don't need a cup because every time of day, something injects water in the bag. That is innovation. New ideas. Do you need technology? Of course not. One of the ideas, and I'm using this as an example because it's top of my head, there's this old idea. This is like a film, right? Go find out about it. I forgot what it's called. Maybe it's like tapioca or something like that. Very old way of coming out with a thin film, and you put water inside it. So it's like a water bubble, and they just put that water in your mouth. Look, you don't even need a cup. It's so carbon neutral, right? Is that technology? Yes, but it's old technology. It's something you made out of tapioca. It doesn't need computer science and all that. So does innovation need technology? Not exactly, but technology needs innovation to move forward. And then something about workforce, is it? Was it the question, something like that?
That's what, that how technology can motivate the employees at workplace.
That is two different things. What I'm sharing with you is the relationship. Workforce, for them to, innovation, not technology, for in the workforce, let them fail. Let them fail. In my business, okay, I used to be a general manager of a motorcycle company. This is the office. I'm still a consultant because when I left the company, they say, Saiful, don't leave, come back, still help us. So I'm consulting them. And we try ideas. We try and we try. We never just give up. So for example, motorcyclists are delivery riders and they need bags. So what we do, we bought bags. See that? We bought raincoats for them. Is it our main business? Of course not. Is it working well? Of course not. Why? Because motorcycles cost more revenue. But why do we do that? Because we want to try. And we are willing to try. We did proper projection and say, maybe this is worth doing. If it fails, too bad. We will try again. That's how you encourage innovation. Don't be afraid to fail. Failing is only your first attempt in learning. FAIL. First attempt in
learning. Right, great, sir. So there are a couple of questions. I think it is revolving under the same thing that how students should be ready for the future. Why, when they don't get any signal? I mean, is there any possibility?
Good. I'm gonna. Lakshmi, how old are you?
I'm good.
Huh?
Sir?
How old are you?
Hi, I didn't get you.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
You're 38.
Yeah.
I'm 37.
Okay.
Right. Lakshmi, when you were in secondary school, were you carrying a phone?
No.
Did you have a pager? When you were in college, do you have a pager?
No, I had a phone, my first phone in my second year of MBA.
Right, second year of MBA.
Yeah.
Now they're 10 years old, they have their own phone.
Yes, they do.
What can you do on your phone?
So many things. I can replace a laptop.
No, not now. When you were in MBA.
Only texting.
Huh?
Messaging.
Messaging.
And calling. That's all.
That's all. And you can play Snake.
Right. No internet then. It is
no
all
internet then. The world will continue to change. Phone used to be on the wall in the house. Then it became in the cars.
Right.
Then it became in our hands, but we only can message and call. Then they became mini computers that we can do almost anything. Take photos. People can shoot films on this. That's the show how fast technology is growing. So students, the people who students are in there, your future is nothing like now. Nothing. Right? They would say, listen, the internet would be the electricity of the future. Now, if you don't have electricity and some places don't, you'll be like, oh no, there's no electricity. If I switch off my lights right now, you'll be like, oh no, there's no electricity. In the future, you say, oh no, there's no internet, life, everything stops. So the internet would be the electricity of the future. Then what would be the internet of the future? Will it be psychic communication? Will it be the way we talk to each other and not? Go find out. Go be part of this industry. Will the metaverse take up? By the way, the trends are already showing people don't last more than 1 month in the metaverse. Is it a failure? Prepare yourself for these potential futures. Build new skill sets. Can I tell you, the best skill sets is not being able to do accounts. It's not being able to come up with reports. It is not being able to code even. The best skill sets are how to solve problems, how to work well with people, how to come up with better ideas, and most importantly, how to be adaptable. Okay? Why I say that is because those are skills I'm trying to grow. So I'm going to give you a little story. I was consultant for a motorcycle company. I came up with the brand, the idea and all that. I grew the company from 17 to 80 motorcycles, right? And now they're doing really well. I don't think I need to be around. I'm in the office right now. And this is one of our premium motorcycles from Sweden, Husqvarna. We are the only company in Singapore which rents out this motorcycle, right? You know how much this motorcycle is, right? It costs 700 per week to rent. Okay, I'm gonna try to find that in rupees, SGD2. Okay, it's around 40,000 Indian rupees per week to rent that motorcycle. Not even own it, to rent that motorcycle. And that is our 50th motorcycle. Every time we have 50, we'll buy a special motorcycle. The company is growing. I'm not around anymore. I'm just a consultant now. And I don't even have a motorcycle license. I cannot ride that motorcycle. That didn't stop me from working with them. Adaptability is an important skill to prepare yourself for the future, students.
Great. So there's another question. I think we'll take up this question, the last question for the day. One second, sir. What are social security system technologies?
Social security, can I see the words? I can't.
What are social security systems? I mean, probably the technology in social security system.
All right. Okay. So I don't understand the definition of the words. I'm not a cyber tech guy. But what I can try to understand from what you say is that, see, right now, the world is connected, right? So much so that every information that you have is on some device somewhere, right? In Singapore, for example, I'm going to show you this. There's this thing called SingPass. So I'm not sure if you have a similar thing. So all my information, governmental information, is on this app. If I click on anything, it needs my face and then my information. So usually we have a card. So this card is now on this phone. If I lose this, I'm still a citizen of Singapore and I can show anywhere around the world.
We do have a centralized application where we can put all the docs. India also has, it is called as DigiLocker. So,
thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think most countries are moving towards that. That's a trend, which is a very amazing trend. What does this mean? This means that our information is available. Usually it's in some file system away in government buildings. Now it's all here. So encryption, maybe even blockchain encryption, maybe even having kind of like, white hatters attacks to check on all this. This is a growing field. I'm not in it. I know friends who are, and I feel the technology to actually secure all these systems especially your personal information, is honestly an area to go to. I'm no expert. I can't advise on that. I assure you that I'm a guy who come up with ideas, not deal with systems such as cybersecurity and whatnot. But I think it's worth exploring.
All right. I think, the last question that I have for the day, do you have any tips for the students to work on or to be better prepared so that, they can better fit into the future requirements?
Yeah, this is my last saying to close this whole thing. For everyone here who is running a business, whether your family business, you're thinking of doing a startup, or you're working in another business, or you wish to be an entrepreneur, my best advice to you is, we live in a world of distraction. Your Instagram reels, your social media, your I know TikTok is not in India, but no TikTok and the likes, Snapchat, and all the different games that we play. I have 0 games in my phone. I had no games in my phone. Okay, and it's a iPhone Pro 12 lah, not 14 yet. Right? Why? Because I feel this. Of course, you can play games. Don't worry about that. You should play games. Games are fun. If you were supposed to come up with an idea that you wish to do and work on, make sure it solves a real problem. My motorcycle company is started because there was a rise in delivery riders. People needed to find employment through delivery riding. They don't have motorcycles. I'm providing that for them. Good value, new motorcycles, even the accessories, everything I'm providing for them. I'm caring for people who needs help. When you come up with an idea, a startup, look for real problems. Could be business problems, social problems, individual problems, and solve problems. Don't come up with an idea just because it looks fun. Solving problems can be fun, right? I got a cool motorcycle behind me, which I wish I can ride. It's fun, but it solves real problems. So, to close up, if I can just say, if anything, look around your neighborhood, your village or your city, your province, Karnataka or many other places, Punjab region, the Gujarati, even people in the Andaman Islands, look around. What do you need? What do you think you can do best? If you don't want, stretch. South Asia, stretch. Asia, stretch. The whole world, who knows, even the moon. But point is, find real problems, look around, solve things that you're passionate about, make a living out of it. It's be more worth your time than just to sell something which looks nice and pretty.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. It was an extremely informative and beneficial session. I thoroughly enjoyed, and gratitude is
inviting me, Lashmi, and everyone at Gibs.
Thank you.
I haven't been there. Last is 2019. I hope to go there again.
Yes.
I miss you guys.
Yes, sir. We miss you too. Hope to have you again so that we can have a great session on design thinking for our new batch of students too.
Yep.
So that we are looking forward to have you so that they can learn from you a lot. Indeed, it was a much appreciated session last time when you had come to India. Our students really enjoyed the session.
Oh, I'm so missed. I'm just looking at the attendees. I've got doctors attending my session. I feel so. I'm not a doctor, by the way. So, thank you so much for spending time. I wish you learned or heard something. I don't know whether you can learn. I mean, at least hear me out. Thank you so much.
Yes,
I'm blushing. I'm actually.
I really thank you for everything, sir. It means a lot. Thanks for accepting our invitation and spending a real good time and imparting your knowledge. It was really an honor to have you, and it was definitely one of the best sessions that we had till now.
Oh, don't say that. You're just trying to be nice.
It was very interactive. It was very interactive. You're so humble that you say this. It was quite interactive, and I'm sure that the participants would have learned a lot from you. There are a couple of them who were asking for your LinkedIn ID too. I can really understand that they want to really get in touch with you. And all
I don't have LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have LinkedIn. What I'll do is that, oh, there's no message, right? There's no message. So I'll show the slide one more time. Okay, this is the only context that you can get. So let me share screen on the other one. Okay, so this is closing, by the way. So I'm just going to show my last screen.
Yes, sir.
Because that's the only way you can contact me, not in the future. Okay, this is my email address, and the left side is Telegram, the right side is WhatsApp. Just tell me you saw me at this session. I'm more than happy to talk to you.
Thank you, sir. Let me take this opportunity to thank all the participants for making this session much more wonderful. And thank you so much for always encouraging and supporting us by participating the webinars that has been organized by GIBS. And we would like to have you at GIBS. We have a state-of-art infrastructure. We would invite all the participants and Saiful sir, of course, to please visit GIBS as soon as possible. And the participants can get the certificates by October 22nd. To the registered email ID, and we have another interesting session coming up on 28th of October on entrepreneurship. We have a speaker all the way from Russia joining us, Mr. Yugan, who will be helping you to understand more on entrepreneurship. Please follow us on social platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, Telegram, Instagram, Facebook. As always, be with us. Please encourage us so that we can serve you better and deliver better sessions like this. I wholeheartedly thank Saiful sir for everything on behalf of GIBS family. Thank you so much, sir.
We have 5 more minutes, right? Yeah. So can I quickly?
Yes, sir.
Is there anyone who has attended my sessions before? Can you just say hi to me on the question and answer? Oh, yeah. Just in case. Have you attended? That means you were in my class when I was in 2019. Or
so that batch, unfortunately, they have passed out, sir. They are no.
Oh, wow. Okay. No worries.
So that's the reason I would also invite you again. Let me take this.
Yeah. Thank you so much then. Okay. I missed the guys there, so I thought I wanted to check in.
Right. Yes, sir. All right, sir.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Have a great evening ahead.
You too, sir.
I enjoyed myself. Thank you, Lashmi. Hope to see you guys.
Sir.
Goodbye from Singapore.
Bye, sir. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.